Children often have big emotions. And these big emotions, sometimes we just look at them and like, what is going on? How do I help them? Uh, and sometimes their big emotions will lead to us having big emotions. And so today, I want to look at those big emotions, those really strong, powerful emotions, those emotions that send a lot of energy out to other people. Uh, and um, and look at what is really going on here.
Children are great by their very nature, and we have the privilege and responsibility of raising them. It can be challenging at times. Let's talk about it.
A lot of energy out to other people, uh, and um, and look at what is really going on here. Hi, my name is Cynthia Armstrong. I'm a general and special education teacher. I homeschooled my own children for 5 years. And these are the things that I talk about that I've studied academically, alternatively, and that I've applied and have worked in my life. And today, I want to talk about big emotions because we all get to experience big emotions sometimes. Sometimes those are our emotions, and sometimes those are somebody else's emotions, whether it's our children or a spouse reacting to our children or just anywhere we go, people have big emotions sometimes. And so let's take a look at those big emotions. When um, I want us to think of ourselves because when we can think of ourselves, when we've had big emotions and kind of look in that, then that helps us then see how it may not be the same emotion or the same reason, but we can see behind that there is something behind other people's big emotions, even if we're not sure exactly what it is. So, in my example, for myself, one of the things that would cause my big emotions was children hurting other children. And especially like when I worked in a special education setting, and some children were physically unable to protect themselves or speak to say stop or I wanted that or I had that. That would be one that triggered big emotions in me in the beginning. And, and it's so interesting to look back now and to like see what was playing out. And I would want to come in and defend that child in a strong way. There's definitely, uh, especially for children who are unable to for themselves, we definitely, as parents, as teachers, as people in these children's lives, we definitely want to help protect and to defend people who aren't able to do it themselves. But there are definitely ways to do it that promote understanding and unity and on both sides, which expand everybody's mind, everybody's world, everybody's ability. And there's definitely ways that we come in and just go destructive. Even for the person we're trying to defend, it can be destructive because if they have that sense that somebody has to defend me, I'm not able to do it on my own, or um, and we create almost like a victim mode for them because even if they're completely defenseless in their physical abilities, that doesn't automatically have to put them in the feeling or that role of victim mode. And so let's dive into that. So when I was in that reactive defending, and that was my big one. It would be pretty much, it would look like anger, and for me, it didn't necessarily feel like I'm being angry in the sense of that word. I'm simply defending or protecting, and that was coming across kind of as aggressive verbally, or with my volume, and things like that. And so when I really looked into it, there was fear. And yes, there was fear for the other person, but there's also just that fear that somebody's going to take something away. And they're going to take it away from me. They're going to take away my peaceful, calm home, my peaceful and calm classroom. And there was this sense of urgency that this has to be taken care of right now. And again, every situation is differently. Sometimes it does need to be taken care of right now, because I've had, children with their hands around other children's throats. I've had children with big, heavy objects that can seriously hurt, cause concussions, or do other things. But there's the I'm going to respond to this right now feeling, and there's the oh my, crazy, crazy, ah. I know. Those were really great words that will translate really well uh, in the the written form of this. But often we don't have words in the moment. Often it is that strong reaction that's just over the top. But then once I was able to step back and I was able to really look at, oh, I am afraid of my class not having control of my class, it not being a peaceful, calm environment that I want it to be. And have you noticed, as parents, we sometimes respond in the way we're telling our children not to respond? If our child, hits another child, we might slap their hand. Or if they're, give that to me, and loud in another child's face, we might be, you stop that, loud back. And so here I was wanting, afraid that I'm going to lose my controlled, calm, peaceful class. And what do? I interrupt my peaceful, calm class. And uh, and it was so odd because when we're there, we don't see that. We're just, um, you know, in that program, in that okay, something's triggered, and we're just gonna follow those electrical currents right through our brain in the way that we've responded all the other times. And so it was very helpful for me to be able to step back and to look at, why was my reaction so strong? What was going on deeper inside me that I would respond this way? And really be able to look at. And sometimes I call that collateral damage. When I do respond this way, or the more accurate word would be react this way, what collateral damage am I causing? What is it that I really want? And what's a better way to get it? And so I was able to then work through the behind the scenes. Uh, and it's that behind the scenes, subconscious, the part we don't really look at, that was um, creating that big emotion. And I think when I say big emotion, and I think perhaps that is for other people, we're talking about those emotions that are overwhelming, that we are reacting to and not just responding to. Um, and so when we take that deep look, then we know, like, when other people are having big emotions, we're not seeing the true reason. And as kids, it's like, oh, mom's upset. I did something wrong. And they can internalize it. Or sometimes it's, oh, I don't have to listen to mom. I'm just, and it's still, I did something wrong, but it happens so often, I'm just going to like ignore it. But there's different responses to that same kind of thought or underlying feeling. And so when we really look at what's going on, and it can be challenging. And it doesn't happen in the moment necessarily. It happens when we reflect back. And then in that reflecting back, we learn more to take into the next time. Uh, and if you're, have a lot of clarity and are able to visualize all the feelings, all the thoughts from a previous time, then yes, you can learn uh, and change that much faster. But here's the thing that can happen is if we're afraid of our emotions, then we're avoiding them and not really able to look at them. So I would encourage you to really take a step back and think about a time you had a strong emotion, or perhaps it's pretty regular for us. We're all at different places, and they're all the places we're meant to be, because that's where we are right now. But that's not where we have to stay. Look at those emotions. And then also when we see somebody else having that big emotion, to be able to be centered and not reactive to their big emotions or defend ourselves with our big emotions, because we understand there's just something going on. They have a fear, a story that they are telling themselves. And to just be able to look and possibly see what could that be. And as we look, and again, if it's our child, we talk about it after they're not really ready to think, even if they don't have access to their thinking thoughts during their big emotions. But to be able to talk after and begin to just kind of ask questions or assess what could be going on. That's where we're going to be making those gains with our children. So remember, children are great by their very natures, and we have that privilege and that responsibility to raise them.
Hi friends, Cynthia Armstrong here. Thanks for joining us today. Please make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you can see when new videos come out, and like this one. It is such a responsibility and a challenge to raise great kids, and we are here to help you along that journey to make it as enjoyable and fun and fulfilling as possible. Please check out our website, www.raisinggreatkids.net, and I will leave that in the description below.